The MTN Media Innovation Program, MIP, which will be overseen by PAU School of Media and Communication, has been announced by the MTN Nigeria and Pan-Atlantic University, PAU SMC. The fully funded 6-month fellowship for Nigerian media professionals aims to assist the country's growing media sector thrive in the long run. Content creators from print, electronic, internet platforms and social media are all encouraged to summit. The goal of the course is to provide participants a greater understanding of Nigeria's technology economy and the media technology nexus, as well as a better capacity to adapt to changing conditions. SMC academic mentorship and professional resources will also be available to fellows. Let's join Leko Nobanjo for the rest of today's business news.
Nice to have you join us on Business News and NC Continental Prime. We start in West Africa, where Senegal's Sovereign Wealth Fund, also known as FONSIS, is considering investing in neighboring countries after it starts receiving part of the oil and gas revenues from new oil fields in the country. The $25 billion economy, set to start production next year, will allocate a minimum of 10% of the sector's revenues to the fund, according to Babakar Gning, Senegal's Sovereign Wealth Fund Chief Investment Officer. Gning says FONSIS will focus on the local market, and once the fund reaches a critical size, it can invest in other markets, starting with other West African economies with which it shares the CFA franc currency. The West African nation is betting on future oil and gas production to boost economic growth to 10% next year, according to Finance Minister Amadou Hott, who expects high growth levels for a sustained period thereafter. To Kenya now, where following the country's extraordinary 5-day vacation, which runs from Friday to Tuesday, investors and companies are facing billions of shillings in damages. The 5-day weekend follows the government's declaration of a national holiday on Tuesday to commemorate Eid al-Fitr, in addition to Monday's Labor Day holiday. Following Kenya's extraordinary 5-day vacation, which runs from Friday to Tuesday, investors and companies are facing billions of shillings in damages. Business closures and major investments like banks, schools, courts, government offices, and the Nairobi Securities Exchange, as well as the current market, would result in losses. This situation is expected to be experienced across Africa and other parts of the world, like Asia. Still in Kenya, the country says it is in talks with its Norwegian counterparts through the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation to help exploit its blue economy. Blue economy experts say Kenya could inject an additional 90 billion Kenyan shillings into the economy should the exclusive economic zone in the Indian Ocean be properly exploited. Scientists from the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute estimate that with proper investments, the country could benefit from 150,000 to 300,000 metric tons of fish available in the exclusive economic zone annually. However, the lack of investments has meant that Kenya has been losing out from the riches of the blue economy. We now take you to Southern Africa, where activists called the Organization on Doing Tax Abuse have sued the nation's energy regulator over its award of generation licenses to Turkish Car Powership, threatening to further delay a program to add power to the grid to alleviate recurrent outages by the alien power utility, Eskom. The case was filed in the Pretoria High Court on April 26. The National Energy Regulator of South Africa granted the permits to the Turkish company in September, allowing it to supply the country from 3 ship-mounted power plants. Progress has been stalled by another court case of the award of the contracts, and Car Powership has yet to secure environmental approval or the rights to moor its vessel in the country's ports. The country has suffered intermittent power outages for more than a decade. We end the news in North Africa, where Algeria, Africa's second biggest gas reserves, threatens to stop gas deliveries to Spain if Madrid transferred it to a third destination. The warning follows a recent decision by Spain to provide gas to the North African nation's neighbor and regional rival, Morocco. Gas normally flows through the Maghreb European pipeline, known as MEG, from Algeria to Spain via Morocco. But Algeria stopped sending fuel through it late last year when it cut diplomatic ties with Morocco because of a spat over Western Sahara. However, Lila Ben Ali, Morocco's energy minister, says it is unclear if Algeria would follow through on its threat if Spain sends non-Algerian gas to Morocco. Algeria provides Europe about 8% of its gas imports, making it the biggest supplier after Russia and Norway. And that's it on Business News. NC Continental Prime continues shortly. I am Lekon Onabanjo.